They told him to stop. They told him it was impossible. They even laughed and said, "It's over for you." But what if I told you that in the very moment when the world gave up on him, he found the courage to prove them all wrong? Stay with me, because this story will remind you why you should never give up, no matter what the world says. Once in a small town, there lived a young man named Arjun. He was an ordinary boy with extraordinary dreams. Arjun loved running. From childhood, he would race barefoot through the dusty village roads, his heart beating fast, his eyes shining with passion. While others laughed, saying, "What will running give you? Study, get a job." Arjun would smile and whisper to himself, "One day, I will make it." By the time he was in his late teens, he was already the fastest in his district. People began to notice him. Coaches said he had potential. He dreamed of wearing his country's colors and making his parents proud. But life doesn't always go in a straight line. During a big state-level race, something happened. As Arjun sprinted towards the finish line, his foot twisted badly. He fell hard. The crowd gasped. He clutched his leg in pain, tears filling his eyes. Doctors later told him it was a severe injury. "You should stop running," they said. "Your body won't allow it anymore. It's over." The words hit him harder than the fall. He lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, hearing those voices again and again. "It's over." Friends drifted away. Even relatives began to whisper, "He had a chance, but it's finished now." And deep inside, Arjun began to question himself. Maybe they're right. Maybe my dream was foolish. Days turned into weeks. Every time he tried to walk, pain shot through his leg. Every time he saw kids running outside, his heart broke a little more. His mother would sit by his side and say, "Son, maybe God has another plan for you." But Arjun stayed silent, because in his heart, one voice was louder than all the rest. And that voice whispered, "Don't give up." One evening, Arjun dragged himself to the old ground where he used to practice. The field was empty. The sun was setting, painting the sky with shades of orange. He stood there, leaning on a stick, and remembered the boy who once ran free, fearless and full of dreams. Tears rolled down his face. And then, he made a decision. "I will try again. Even if I fall. Even if it hurts. Even if the world laughs, I will not quit." The next morning, while others were still asleep, Arjun began his journey again. Step by step. Slow. Painful. But steady. The struggle was real. His body resisted. His legs burned. People mocked him when they saw him limping on the track. But every day, he pushed a little more. Every day, he whispered to himself, "It's not over. Not yet." Months passed, and slowly, the limp turned into a jog. The jog turned into a run. Arjun entered a small local race, his first since the injury. The stadium was not big, but for him, it felt like the Olympics. As he stood at the starting line, he heard people in the crowd whisper, "Isn't he the one who got injured? Why is he even here? He can't win." The whistle blew. The runners surged forward. For a moment, Arjun struggled to keep up. His leg ached. His mind screamed, "Stop." But his heart said, "One more step." And he kept going, step after step, breath after breath. He wasn't the fastest that day, but he finished the race. And when he crossed that line, he raised his arms, not in victory, but in defiance. He had proved something greater than winning a medal. He had proved that it wasn't over. That one race changed everything. It gave him hope. It gave him strength. Arjun went on to train harder than ever before. With patience, with discipline, with unshakable belief. Years later, he stood on a national stage, wearing the jersey of his country. The same people who once whispered, "It's over," now stood and clapped as he sprinted across the track, his name echoing in the stadium. Friends, life will always test you. People will say, "You can't. You won't. It's over." But the truth is, it's never over until you decide it's over. Maybe right now you're facing failure. Maybe the world has given up on you. But remember Arjun. He fell, he broke, he suffered. Yet he chose to rise. And by rising, he proved everyone wrong. So today I ask you, what if your story isn't finished yet? What if tomorrow, your victory is waiting for you? Don't quit. Don't surrender. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will applaud you. They said, "It's over." But you know what? It has only just begun.